West Jordan Middle School teachers are getting an A+ in CPR after coming to the rescue of one of their students. A genetic heart defect caused that student to collapse in the gym. Well, tonight he is recovering in the hospital, and Good for Utah's Aldo Vasquez spoke with the teachers who saved that young man's life.
Classes had just begun here at West Jordan Middle School, and students were doing their warm-ups here in gym class when one of the students, 9th grader Skylar Nelson, paused, took a couple of steps, and then collapsed right here on the floor.
He was gone. I mean, for the most part, for what we saw, he was gone. And so, you know, we just did what we were trained to do.
8:07 last Wednesday, a typical morning in gym class quickly turns to a rush to save a young boy's life. Cameras were rolling as 14-year-old Skylar Nelson made his laps around the gym. Moments later, he appears fatigued, pauses, and then collapses to the floor. The gym teacher checks on Skylar and calls for help.
It was this security camera that captured the entire scene. Teachers attending to the patient, putting in their CPR training, which they had received 10 days prior to this incident.
He was pale. You could tell he was struggling to breathe. He was trying to breathe at first. Then there was a point where he stopped breathing altogether.
I heard Eric Price say that there was no pulse. He leaned over him, started CPR, and basically I started communications with our dispatch.
At 8:13, staff began CPR on Skylar. As Price and Detective Hood alternate applying compressions, another teacher made sure to keep his airway open. Fortunately, their training was still fresh in their mind, as just days ago, these teachers had received CPR training.
It's one of those things you get trained on. You hope you never have to use, but you're glad you have the training once it happens.
At 8:18, paramedics finally arrived and transported Skylar to the hospital. A genetic heart defect was found to be the cause, and regular checkups never turned up anything on his condition. After days of worrying, on Tuesday, Skylar's heroes were able to visit him in the hospital.
Skylar looked at us as we were leaving, and he said, "Thank you for saving my life."
But they credit the entire team who helped save his life and call Skylar a hero for fighting to stay alive. In West Jordan, Aldo Vasquez, Good for Utah.
Well, Skylar did have surgery yesterday. Doctors implanted a defibrillator inside of his chest. He is expected to make a full recovery.